Sounds good.
We are recording. All right, Brian, I'm just going to take a moment here and be quiet, and then I'll start sharing if that's okay with you.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Okay, wonderful. And feel free to do the same. Just settle in, receiving the fullness of our time together, Brian. Letting go of everything that's gone on in the day. Just letting you be right here. Okay, Brian. First off, I'm feeling a female in spirit.
Okay.
And with her, I feel a deep connection with you. I feel we are related.
Okay.
Would it make sense? You have a daughter in spirit?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm feeling emotional. I'm feeling just this deep connection that you two have.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to just pour out this expression of love.
Mm-hmm.
This love and this, and it's almost this feeling of, I want to say, an apology. Would you understand an apology from her?
No, I don't.
Okay, it's this feeling of like, let's understand this further.
Mm-hmm.
It's this feeling that, like there's communication that she wanted to have, but she passed before she could communicate these things.
Okay.
Would that make sense?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. And I want to say that would a symptom of pain in her head make sense to you?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Okay. So I'm feeling a sensation in the back of my head.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to go into this emotion and her connection with you.
Okay.
I also feel that would you understand her as being a strong girl, like a strong, I feel there's a strength about her.
Yes, definitely.
I know that she would be firm in what she needs to say, as if she had a stubbornness about her.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You understand that? Yes. And she, I get like she would call people out, like no matter their age, like she would be able to voice her opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes.
And stick up for people.
Yes.
Yeah, and I get that she had a passion in her heart.
Mm-hmm.
and she, like, her voice was strong, her message was strong. Would she also have a sibling?
Yes.
And I get that she would stick up for her sibling as well.
Okay. Yes.
And I know that that strength about her is vibrant in spirit, and you know this too. And she nudges you along to speak up.
Yes.
She, I want to say she's like the captain of her ship.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm going into, let's see. Would you understand, like her needing to be really strong through her passing?
Yes. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and I feel like when she was passing, she felt like she wanted to communicate that she was fine. Like she really like she felt others their pain because of what she was going through, or was it an accident?
No, it wasn't an accident.
Okay, that's fine. But I get this. There's people who are like sad for her, feel bad for her throughout the experience of her passing. She wanted to communicate, like she wanted to be there for them, like
Yeah.
personality, like no, I'm okay. And she did not want other people to suffer because of her passing.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
I know that she communicated that and with you.
Okay. Yes.
And I get that you were with her, like you would be with her.
Yes.
And like you were by her side.
Yes.
And I get throughout her childhood, you were present in her life.
Yes.
You were active father, played that father role, and you would always be there to hold her hand.
Yeah.
And I get that all the way to the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like holding her hand, and I get that. Would you understand, like, I want to say, like, walking her to school? I get you two holding hands and like walking to school.
Yeah, not walking to school, but yeah, holding her hand when we walked. Yes.
Yeah, like I get you two like walking and holding hands. I get you teaching her how to ride her bike. And like, if I'm not mistaken, like her bike, she had a basket in the front of her bike.
Yeah, I think she did.
Yeah, I get this, you teaching her how to ride, and she had her basket, and whatever she wanted, she would make it very clear, and you would make sure she would be able to get it.
Yeah.
And she knew the inner workings of your mind, and she was able to get what she wanted. And it's like you two were just so intertwined with each other and attuned to each other, and you still are. And I guess she has so much love in her heart. Oh, she feels just so grateful for you being her father, she also knows, would you understand your own father being in spirit?
No.
Okay. But the relationship with your own father wasn't as close as with your daughter, yes?
Right.
Yeah, it's like the opposite.
Yes.
Yeah. But you showed up, and she's acknowledging this, like you showed up for her because you know that contrast. And,
yeah.
and she's acknowledging that and acknowledging you. She has her sibling, going back to her sibling, the brother.
No, her sibling's not a brother.
Oh, okay. Let's see. So her obviously is her younger sibling is your other daughter. And I want to go into a memory of, would you make pancakes?
Yes.
Breakfast?
Yeah.
I get like sitting around a table, and I don't know, is it a circular table? You guys can all fit there. But serving pancakes, and that would be like your like a nice family breakfast you would have all together.
Yeah.
And I get you still make pancakes.
Yeah. It's wild that you bring that up because I just made pancakes this past weekend.
Yeah, it feels like a weekend ritual. Like this is what we do.
Yeah, and I very rarely do that.
Awesome. Well, she's acknowledging this. Would she like chocolate chips in her pancake?
Yeah.
Yeah. But you didn't put chocolate chips in your pancakes.
No. Yes, and that's wild too because I'll just say this because I think it's interesting. I did make pancakes this weekend, and I rarely do, and I put bananas and pecans in mine. And my wife said Shayna would have wanted chocolate chips in hers.
Oh, that's so awesome. Yeah, she's a powerful force, this girl, this woman.
Yeah.
And I get that she loves this. Like she is. She was really into the details too about expressing her love and expressing and these acts of service, like making pancakes together and eating together. Like those things mattered so much to her. That quality time, being all together, and having breakfast and just staying in your PJs, you know. And she I get with her too, would she I feel like okay. She was very creative. She had a creative side to her, and she would create gifts.
Yeah.
To give to you two, and they were very thoughtful. Did she write a poem?
Yeah. I think she did. She wrote a lot. Yes.
Yeah, I feel like there's such a depth about her, and she would like I get a poem where it's deep and really rich And
Yeah.
and it's her expression. Her expression is heard. It is something that is worth hearing as well.
Yeah.
And I get you have those. You have her pieces of writing in her art as well.
Yeah, and again, I'll tell you this because I'm actually looking at some of her writing on my desk as well as her art.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she paid a close attention to detail, like even the colors. The colors would be picked up particularly, and
yeah.
And she nudges you. She nudges you all the time, and like to use your voice and to speak up.
Okay.
Even when you don't really want to, this is her saying, yes, this is what you need to do.
Yeah.
And so I understand dancing. Dance. Is this with little sister?
Her sister's older, but Shayna did do dance.
Yeah, I get dance, but I feel this with sister too. She danced as well.
Oh yeah, yes.
That they each did, but it's like you go to a dance class, and you would be there and watch their performances.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there would be some like fun. It would be I guess like very okay. I want to say that there's like fun music that goes with it too. That they would practice in like your living room.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I get like practicing it in like in your living room and going over and over and like you guys would all have that same song stuck in your head. Does that make sense?
Yeah, what's interesting, she had a cousin who is like a sister to her. And they practiced, and they actually wrote songs together and would practice performing. So I think that's what it is.
Okay, yeah. Would they also, like, you'd have to get a ticket to see their performance?
Yeah, and her cousin is actually a little bit younger than Shayna, so just by a few months. Yeah.
Okay, so this must be the younger cousin now.
Yeah, that would be my guess, yeah.
And and your daughter, you said Shayna, I guess she was, like I said, attention to detail, like everything had to be perfect. And so they would practice, and it sounds really fun and lighthearted too. She likes to have fun.
Yeah. I think it's her cousin.
Okay, yeah. And that period of time, I feel that is really fun. And they would they have sleepovers too?
Yeah.
Yeah. Super fun. And she had like you gave her a tape recorder or radio that they could use for the music.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I'm not sure how they did the music. Yeah, she had something. Yeah.
Yeah, like she had her boombox that they would use, and they would take it to do their performances.
Yeah, I think so.
And then also with their dancing, like they had to be also dressing a certain way together.
Okay.
Would they create their own costume design in their own cute way?
I think so. I'm not sure about that. I'll have to double check with my wife.
Okay. Yeah, it feels like maybe they had like a little stash or something to match or something to like match each other's outfits for the performance.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. She feels very expressive and free.
Mm-hmm.
And intelligent as well. I get that you and her would read together.
Yeah.
Yeah, like reading was really important for you at a young age to read to her. And you would have your evening ritual of reading. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. And I started out with like, when she was a baby and reading to her these baby books, and then moving into like chapter books together.
Yes.
Yeah, and again, like you didn't have that person to read to you, but you made sure she had that support with her reading. Yes.
Yes.
And she really loved that time. Like getting quality time was important for her. And you two got to share that bond.
Yeah.
And I get this bookcase. She had a bookcase of books that she could select from.
Yeah.
And I feel this bookcase is still in your house. And filled with her books. And did you guys read Harry Potter?
Yeah, I think so. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'll just tell you, her sister read all the Harry Potter books. I don't know if she did. I think she might have read one. She loved to read, but I don't know if she read all the Harry Potter books.
Okay, but that would be on the bookshelf.
I think they are. Yeah, I think so. I can check.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that, like you said, like sister was more Harry Potter, but like she was more of, she like the, I got like Nancy Drew, Drew,
yeah, I'm not sure.
Beverly Cleary, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but in that genre of like building of characters, not so much of like the suspense adventures, but like the building of characters and relationships and stories around that.
Yeah, I'll have to check on that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I get that she had an imagination. And in science class, she was really passionate about, she had to do a science project. And you would help her on this science project, and I feel like it has to do something with the environment.
Okay.
And like you would help her out with this.
Yeah, I don't remember that specifically, but I have a terrible memory, so I'll have to think about that.
Okay. Yeah, but I get you would be involved with like those, like a science project or a project that she
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yep.
But would you also know too, like she was an activist? Like
Mm-hmm.
she's an activist.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah. And she would write about it
Mm-hmm.
for classes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm laughing because I was telling you I've got some of her writing on my desk, and we just discovered after she had passed, actually just very recently, it's an article about Emmett Till and Trayvon Martin
Yeah.
that we just found like a couple of months ago.
That she wrote.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
About,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like equality, right? And
Mm-hmm.
and she feels very passionate about
Mm-hmm.
that, and I get like you would read like some of those books, about the history. You'd be able to read those with her
Mm-hmm.
growing up, and she had pride. She had pride
Mm-hmm.
for her and her heritage, and
Mm-hmm.
I feel like grandma was tough as nails like her.
Okay.
Like I get like that feminine strength as well with her.
Yeah. Okay.
And that with the women in her life too.
Mm-hmm.
And she for social studies, she would really get into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With her papers and the group work that she would do. She would be if there was a group project, she would be the leader of their group.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she'd make sure everything is done as well as it could be, and people need to show up and do their part.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, she made sure people knew that they needed to be accountable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she's and I get this sense of independence with her.
Mm-hmm.
If she wanted to wear something, she would wear it, and she's not carrying, kind of marching to the beat of her own drum in that way.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
This is what I want to wear, and she liked being different.
Mm-hmm.
She liked that.
Mm-hmm.
And I get that she, like you said, she was the younger sibling.
Mm-hmm.
Had an older sibling, obviously, but she didn't want to copy everything that her older sibling was doing. She was independent in that way.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
She was her own free thinker.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and she would question people.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess she would question her older sister too. And this questioning could get on each other's nerves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And she's questioning because she cares. But I get that maybe the older sister didn't make the choices that were in her best interest. Does that make sense?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Okay. Then maybe it's more she was critical of her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe from her perspective, yes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So more just critical and that kind of maybe they butted heads sometimes because of that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because older sister too had her own opinions.
Yes.
Strong women. You raise strong women.
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And yeah, I get your older daughter has a passion about her too.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot there.
Mm-hmm.
But the youngest is in spirit.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I get she's still doing that same type of behavior with her older sister, like the questioning, like she's guiding, like she has a way about her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I get you have a picture of the two of them together, their beautiful smiles.
Yeah, thousands.
Yeah, and you have one on your desk as well.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, it's like they have like, I feel like I sense it, like their smiles are like radiant and big. Both of them.
Mm-hmm.
They like both have huge smiles. And I get this with her, like she knew she could do no wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Like you made sure she felt loved unconditionally.
Mm-hmm.
You always made it a point to communicate that, and to the point where she even say, "I know."
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she knows. Like there was no stone left unturned in the love department.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. It's funny that you say that because I would tell her. She said, "You don't have to tell me you love me all the time."
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It was. You hammered that one in early on.
Yep.
Yeah, and she's like, her heart is so full, and she knows that she knows. I get this because her cup was so full of love that she was able to live a very full life, a rich life, of love, and so would it make sense that she? Now I want to go in towards the later part of her life.
I'm sorry. What did you say? What did you ask me?
I want to go into the later part.
Okay.
Of her,
Okay.
sorry, my heater just kicked on. It's kind of loud. Was there an illness that she was moving through?
Yes. Yes, she had actually a couple of illnesses. Yes.
Yeah. And it would keep her from like walking.
Yeah, not really. Well, yeah, that's interesting.
The end.
Well, yeah, she had an injury that kept her from walking for a while. But that was a couple of years before she passed.
Okay, so I want to go into when she couldn't walk. And I guess that was like really frustrating.
Yeah, that's not really. I mean, like I said, she had an injury before, where it was just an injury. It was an ACL tear, but she didn't get to the point like when at the end where she couldn't walk. That did not happen.
Okay. Well, I want to go into when she couldn't walk. See what she. Does she play soccer?
No.
Okay. All right. I get, like, her, like, that was an adversity that because she couldn't walk, that was really frustrating for her.
Yeah.
And this frustration, as she was, like, it brought out another side of her of, like, agitation. But she was like, I'm going to get past this. I'm going to get through this. And she had that, you could see this, like, determination in her, her mind. And would it also make sense that, like, the doctor said she had this amount of recovery time, but she, like, she started, like, walking earlier than that?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe.
Okay. Yeah, because she feels very strong-willed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, oh, no. Like, they said this. No, I'm going to do it like this.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that might have happened. It's been a few years, so I'll see if my wife remembers that better than I do.
Yeah. And, I feel she really liked chocolate chip cookies. I get, like, I don't know if you remember, but chocolate chip cookies, she would be able to have chocolate chip cookies during that time.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you get, like, that comfort food with chocolate cookies. Homemade, of course. Using the same bag of chocolate chips that you use for the pancakes.
Okay.
And okay, let's see. And I know I mentioned soccer. Did she ever play soccer?
I'm sure she played at some point, but she was an athlete, but soccer was not one of her sports.
Okay. But it was like the sports that she'd play. I know she did the dance. But I feel like she was on a team sport as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it involved a lot of running.
Yes.
Was it lacrosse?
No. She no.
It's okay. Yeah, it feels high intensity, and
yeah, she definitely played at a high level, high intensity for sure.
Yeah, and she would be the leader. She would be the leader on the team, and would she had this sense of determination on the field that would sustain the whole game from beginning to end. And she would get frustrated at her teammates sometimes because like, you don't give up. Like, why would you give up? Like, you don't do that.
Yeah.
She lead the team in that way. And motivate the team. Did you coach?
No.
No. Okay. But you would be there, like watching the games and like.
Yeah.
You'd be like totally immersed in it as well.
Yeah.
And be able to talk with her afterward.
Yeah.
And, like, you could carry on throughout the whole drive home about it. And 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 I get that she like at the end of the season she would win an award for her role on the team.
Yep.
And it wasn't just a participation award. It was something because she was like had that extra element on the team.
Okay. She did get an award for one of the sports. She played multiple, or she participated in multiple sports. So.
Yeah. And swimming, did she swim?
She did.
Was that part of the sport? One of the sports?
Yeah, that's the sport she got the season-ending award for.
Okay, there we go. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I understand that. And it was like the lane lap. Like, I don't know much about swimming, but like the speed going back and forth in the lanes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. I'll tell you a little story about that. She swimming was not her favorite sport, but she was a natural at it. So we kind of made her, join the swim team, and she excelled even though she didn't really even try.
No, it makes sense. Yeah. And I feel that was the way about her, is that like this effortless effort, like especially with the activism, like how could that take any effort? Like it's so intrinsic. Parts about her, and this strength within her, and when people didn't have it, it frustrated her.
Yeah.
And now I'm getting flowers.
Okay.
Okay. I want to say, do you guys have fresh flowers in your house right now?
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, fresh flowers, and it feels like it's this time of year where you remember her.
Yeah, it's interesting because my wife, when she gets flowers, she keeps them forever. So I think there might be flowers in the kitchen, but I'm not 100% sure. But if they're not there now, they were very recently.
Okay, yeah. And would you understand it correlates, like this is a time where you would remember her, like there's an anniversary of some sort?
No, not this time of year. Not for Shayna, no.
Okay.
Well, let me just say, okay, so our anniversary is coming up in a week. My wife and I's wedding anniversary.
Oh. Okay.
So that is coming up in a week. So, and it'll be our 30th wedding anniversary. So.
Congratulations. Yeah. I mean, she made me say the word anniversary, so that's.
Yeah, I could see Shayna making that about her. Yes.
Yeah, it's well, it could have been my brain filter, but yeah, this, and she would acknowledge your guys' anniversary when she was in the physical.
Yeah.
Yeah. And maybe make you guys those pancakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Aw. Yeah, she feels like she's very much with you guys. She's in your home, in your heart. And I also want to, like, in your wallet, you have a picture of her?
I think I took the pictures of her out of my wallet, but it's funny because one of the pictures that was in my wallet, I just came across the other day. I put it in a drawer, and I just came across it a couple of days ago.
Okay. Yeah, I'm getting that.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure. And I get, like, you took it out because you didn't want it to get ruined.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, but she just sprinkles. She has sprinkles everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just have to ask, so she never had a brother?
No.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You have a brother?
I have brothers, yes.
Uh-huh. Do you have a brother in spirit?
I don't. Mm-mm.
No. Okay. Huh.
But I got to. I've had readings before, and Shayna does mention a brother in spirit sometimes. I'm not really sure where that comes from, but it's not the first time it's happened.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Yeah, but she's with you and your wife and your daughter and okay. That bike that she learned that. Do you still have that little bike?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought she still had her bike in your.
I think it's gone, but our garage is a mess. But I'm pretty sure that's gone.
Okay. Oh. Yeah, and I get this like huge big one of those like big envelopes, but for artwork, like an artwork portfolio.
Mm-hmm.
You have that still, and
yeah, well, we definitely still have a lot of her art around, all over the place. So I think that's probably what you're saying.
yeah, but I feel like the message with that is like there's those sprinklings, but then you also get a lot of like your inner connection with her,
Mm-hmm.
those sprinklings too, and being able to feel those. Like I feel like she's supporting you with that journey.
Okay.
In yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, and she's still nudging you along with sharing your voice.
Yeah.
And your wife, she a nurse?
No.
Okay, because sometimes when I'm about to leave the contact, more information comes through, but I feel like her mom, maybe not a nurse by profession, but like nursed her, like maybe towards the end of her life, or
not really. She went really suddenly.
okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Well. So I feel like mom has like a professional career.
My wife. Yeah, not really. She stayed home with the girls, so she has worked some, but not really. She's not what would you would consider a professional.
Mm-hmm. Well, anyway, I got this impression of her mom, like nursing, that profession.
Well, it's interesting. My wife just had a job in the healthcare field. It was more administration than nursing. So that's a job that she just had most recently.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, she's very much with you guys, with your family, and it's just been such an honor connecting with her and you.
Yeah.
And she has so much love in her heart. It's powerful, and it's just such an honor to connect. So thank you.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Have you got a few minutes?
I do.
Yeah, I wanted to just give you some feedback about the things that you got, because it was really good. Yeah, my daughter Shayna, very stubborn. I mean, literally from the first day she was born, we knew she was going to be stubborn. You talked about. Well, it's interesting. You were talking about the way she passed. It wasn't an accident, but it was sudden. It was a heart issue, and so she passed in her sleep. So literally, she was here one day, and when we found her the next morning, she wasn't responsive. You talked about her passion. Very, very passionate. Was always a leader. She just had one sister who's actually older. You talked about her nudging me to speak up. Actually, since Shayna passed, I started, I do grief counseling, and I have a podcast, and so I do that, and I do all the stuff in Shayna's name. So she definitely nudges me and stuff like that.
I got chills all over.
Yeah. So you talked about her feeling others' pain when she passed. Yeah, like I said, it was sudden, so we were just all shocked. Everybody, was just, really, really shocked. And my wife and I were the ones that found her and took her to the hospital. So we were there when they pronounced her dead. Yeah, you talk about holding her hand. I mean, she always had to be in the middle of us. So she always had to be holding both of our hands. We did homeschool. So you talk about walking her to school. We didn't walk her to school because we homeschooled, but, teaching her to ride a bike. I think she had a basket on her bike. You said I'm intertwined with her and still am. We found a video. This was after she passed. And she was telling a friend that she had me wrapped around her finger. She said, I'm going to call my father and have him come pick me up because he's got me. And my wife always talked about how, the girls had me wrapped around their fingers. My relationship with my father was exactly the opposite. I don't remember him ever telling me I love you or hugging me or anything like that. So I just made sure that with the girls, it was going to be, different. Pancakes for breakfast. That was also interesting because I very, very rarely do that anymore. It's just my wife and myself now. And I came home, Saturday I walk every morning, and I made pancakes and I put bananas and pecans in them, which my wife doesn't like. So I just did it for myself. And she actually said if Shayna was here, she'd want chocolate chips in hers. You talked about her acts of service. Yes, she was very involved. She was a Girl Scout, gold star. She was working on her gold award. She had her silver award. She's very creative. I've got gifts on my desk right now, stuff that she's made for me. We talked about her writing. She was very, very good writer. Always, pay attention to detail. Dancing. We talked about this, dancing with her sister. They danced together, but her cousin, Brianna, and Shayna used to make up songs, and they would rehearse them for hours, and then they would present them to us. So that at her service, I actually found a video of that, and I played it at her funeral service. Let's see, attention to detail. Yep, sleepovers. Very expressive, you said. The girls, you talked about her reading. They both read at a very, very early age. So we didn't read to them. We read to them, but they very quickly start reading on their own. There's a bookcase in her room that has books on it. Her sister was really into Harry Potter, but Shayna, I don't think she read the Harry Potter books, but I think she liked Beverly Cleary. So I'll have to check that out. Great imagination. You talked about science project. We homeschooled them, and I'm a chemical engineer, so I helped them with their science.
Oh, nice.
Very activist. She actually wore a shirt my wife made sweatshirts, so she wore a sweatshirt to school one time. It said feminist on it. And her teacher, wanted one of the sweatshirts made for herself. Pride about her heritage. Shayna, we're African American, and we live in an all-white area. So there's this group of girls. One's Vietnamese, one's Greek, they call her the plain white girl, and I forgot the other ones, their ethnicity. But Shayna would teach them about stuff. And so when the show Blackish came on, she would you got to watch Blackish, and then they would discuss it. Let's see, social studies, yes, definitely. Leader of her group. After she passed, this group of girls, there's 6 of them. They started calling themselves the Shayna Six, and they actually had T-shirts made and all that kind of stuff. She wore what she wanted to wear. Yes, she was very much into. She would not wear something if she didn't want to wear it. She did like being different. It's funny because I had a friend. She's working on her mediumship, and she told me the other day that Shayna said that she's the big sister now, and that she always acted like the big sister when she was here. So it's interesting that you thought Shayna was older. Yeah, I got a picture of the 2 of them on my desk, so you mentioned that. The thing about me saying I love you, and she would say I know. Yeah, she would actually say, you don't have to tell me you love me all the time. Yeah, we feel like she lived a full and rich life. Now, it's funny because you also mentioned illness. Shayna, she was perfectly healthy until she was about 10, and then she was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, and then a year after that, she tore her ACL, and I think it was the year after that, she got diagnosed with a heart condition. So she went from being perfectly healthy to having all these conditions that she had to deal with, but she never complained about any of them. She did not play soccer, but she was on the local swim team. We have a pool in our neighborhood, a club, so she swam for them. But she played basketball and she played volleyball from the time she was 5 until she passed when she was 15. So yeah, there's lots of running involved in basketball. She was definitely a leader. You asked if I coached. I didn't coach, but my wife actually coached her.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we went to her games, totally immersed in all that. So yeah, it's funny you mentioned the award at the end of the season, because I don't know if she got any for basketball or volleyball, which were her primary sports, but she got the most improved for her swim team. And I was saying she didn't really like swimming, but Shayna it just was natural to her. And our 30th anniversary is a week from today. So that's interesting.
Wow.
And you mentioned the picture of my wallet. I took those pictures out because I've got all those pictures on my phone now, of course. But I put them in a drawer in the kitchen. I was in that drawer the other day, and I ran across one of the pictures. This was just a couple days ago. You mentioned a brother in spirit. She does have a brother in spirit, but when I was a previous relationship, my wife had an abortion. So that brother in spirit does come up sometime. I don't know if that might have something to do with it or not. And your artwork portfolio, and you mentioned supporting me with my journey. Yeah, for sure. Shayna's very much involved in what I do. I volunteer with helping parents heal. And as I said, I'm a life coach and a grief counselor. So that's all because of her.
Oh, she's amazing.
So I wanted to give you that feedback. I know it's got to be hard. I can't imagine doing what you do. So I wanted to let you know.
Well, it's such an honor. I absolutely love it, and I really appreciate the feedback too. It just brings me closer to understanding the experience that I was having too.
Yeah.
Oh wow, beautiful! It's amazing. Yeah, you're following her nudges for sure.
Yeah, Shayna. It's funny because she's come through other meetings and said, and I've written a book. And she's like, I'm a better writer than you are. I help you with your writing. And I'm like, okay, Shayna. So that's her. So it's more like shoves than nudges with her, but yeah.
So beautiful. So beautiful.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate it. I will I'll write it up and send it to Mark, and I'm sure you'll hear from him.
All right. It's wonderful to meet you, Brian. Thank you for this opportunity.
Yeah, it's good meeting you. You have a great rest of your day.
You too.
Bye.
Thank you.